So day 3 of the SOSORT conference in Boston, and I finally got a sunny day. This is beautiful today. Look at this. It was a good conference today. Learned a lot. There were some really cool things that people talked about. So I wanted to do a quick video just to highlight those things that I thought were good takeaways. And I'm not going to talk about everything because there was a ton of stuff talked about. But I wanted to first talk about some EMG and MRI studies that were presented about differences in the muscles on the convex versus concave side of the curve. Pretty interesting things with fatty infiltration, fat developing in the muscle tissue and the ability of that muscle to contract, having more of that on the concave side, and it made me think, what do we do about that? With fatty infiltration, we can change that, but how do we dose that? How do we strengthen that? What level of contraction do we need? I mean, a lot of questions like that come up. I think the big takeaway though is we need to strengthen it. We need to do something to the concave muscles, and I mean the Schroth method really helps with that. So that was something interesting. We also talked about, or someone presented about genetic testing for different things that correlate with lack of let's see, I think it was folic acid and melatonin that were reduced in some scoliosis patients, and some differences with estrogen. So I don't exactly know where to go with that, but it's cool to see that people are still trying to figure out the etiology of scoliosis and how we can supplement things. I get asked a lot about supplementation of vitamin D and other nutrition, so that was an interesting one. One of my favorite ones was a prehab treatment that was pre-surgery. That was a 5-day intensive treatment where it was 4 hours a day for 5 days prior to surgery, and they found improved surgical outcomes with a better correction in the surgery, fewer post-op days needed to stay in the hospital, and just better results. So I think that's something that we're going to try to implement with the surgeons if they're willing to do it. There's some geese here. And hopefully get better outcomes for our surgical patients. Not that they're bad right now, but why not get better? We also had a talk by the SRS, the Scoliosis Research Society president, and he talked about a lot of his patients after surgery talk about being able to get a bigger breath. And so he looked at pulmonary function and other things related to scoliosis, and he said it's interesting that his research is showing that they have a reduced exercise tolerance, not post-surgically necessarily, but sometimes mild, moderate, and severe curves have reduced exercise tolerance. So something that we need to think about when we're working with people, that we may want to work on improving the pulmonary function, exercise tolerance, and all that. One of the biggest takeaways that I had today was looking around the room. There were pretty much representatives from all countries. We had people from Brazil, we had people from South Korea, China, I mean, all over the place, a ton from Europe, and it's pretty cool to see a body of people come together specifically for scoliosis treatment and non-operative treatment. Pretty awesome. So overall, day 3 has been really good. I'm gonna go and walk around Boston and kind of see the sights, and thanks for going on this journey with me. We'll see you tomorrow.